Today is pretty much a moving day for photography. I'm going from Forillon National Park back to Gaspesie National Park. But I'm gonna do one quick pit stop to photograph a waterfall on my way out. I just wanted to check it out. It seemed ideal because the weathercast was gonna be overcast a little bit later. It seemed ideal to photograph a waterfall during those kind of days. And yeah, I wanted to extend my stay 2 more nights in Gaspesie National Park. One is to photograph more moose, which I'll get to a little bit later in the day in this video. And the second part was to photograph caribou on Mont Jacques Cartier, which you can only access between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. Last time I was there, I couldn't find any, but I was hoping this time I would get better luck. But in the meantime, let's get back to this waterfall and do a long exposure of waterfall photography. It has been a while since I've done a waterfall picture, and it seemed like the perfect thing to do today. Excuse the camping here, guys. That's what happens when you have been 2 days camping. I didn't have time to go to my stylist. So I made it to the waterfall, and right off the bat it's looking really nice. I like the little cascading water. Luckily there's still some water flowing. It wasn't dry when I arrived. And right away the sun came out a little bit, but there's a lot of clouds overhead. Eventually the light will be softer. Right away I see something that really piqued my interest. There's a log in the water that's pointing towards the waterfall. I think that's going to be my composition. I'm going to go for a vertical shot with a polarizer and a 6-stop ND filter to get that effect, because these rocks on the cliffside just over there, they are really beautiful color. They got that brownish kind of reddish tint, and all the moss covered rocks is really nice, and the cascading water around it. And the water is like super clear, and there's all these rocks and surrounding this branch that's just pointing towards the waterfall. So add a little bit of color, add some texture, it's really nice. And yeah, I'm excited to take this picture. I'm gonna get set up and get that shot before heading out of here. So I made it back at Gaspesie National Park, and the weather since I arrived here, just much like last time, I arrived right straight into a downpour, and there was 2 downpours since I arrived here, which makes me feel like the weather here can be hit or miss, and the weather conditions look ripe for a thunderstorm. And I actually heard the clouds thunder, and so it looks like might rain hard on me, but just arrived. So I'm gonna do a small trail here where I found moose. There's another female moose right there. It's kind of far from reach. Not sure if you can see that there's another female moose right there feeding, but it's just covered by too many trees, not out in the open to get a good photograph. Similar with the other moose I found, it just had its back of its head toward me and it was sitting down. So not a pleasant angle to capture it. little bit of the trail left. It's like a loop trail, and so far I only saw the female moose, but honestly I got some great shots too that I'm really happy with. And I might have not gotten a male moose today, but I'll leave something for another day, so I definitely get to try again. But yeah, I spent like the better half of the trail after photographing the moose, kind of photographing a few birds. It was kind of too much on the move to film a video and, you know, talking about the bird pictures. I'm really getting into bird photography as well, learning more about the species of birds. Definitely every time I take a picture I get to research it and have some experience with that, and this is a good way to learn about different types of birds if you don't. I'll never pretend that I know the type of birds in the videos, because I really don't, but one bird at a time, and yeah, that will work well for me. So I have a little bit of the stretch of the trail left. I'm gonna make it back to camp a little bit earlier than expected, which is good, because by the time I set up camp, make something to eat and go to bed, in the hopes that tomorrow it's better to actually get an early night's sleep. There's really one benefit to finishing photography early, is to be able to cook a really nice dinner of chicken, potatoes and corn over the fire.